So my final thoughts on whether or not the Pat McGrath Labs Midnight Sun Mothership palette is worth its $205 price tag. Look, I'll be honest with you. You guys, I have my first ever Pat McGrath palette. It is all mine. I am so beyond excited. I have wanted to try her for years and I have just never ever committed to spending $200 on an eyeshadow palette, but now I have one and it's all mine and I'm so excited, and we are going to test this out today and we're going to see if, you know, Pat McGrath lives up to the hype, if the quality is worth it, if the price tag is worth it. We're going to get all into the nitty gritty of it, and I know this palette's been out for a really long time, but I don't care. We're just going to test it and we're going to have fun with it, and I'm dying to put it on my eyeballs. So let's just do that. Now, before we get started, if you like, you could hit that subscription button or that notification bell. It really helps my channel out and I super appreciate it, but if not, all good too. I totally understand. And now I'm actually just beyond excited. I'm almost to the point of hysterical, so we just need to hurry up and put the eyeshadow on my lids. Before I get ahead of myself, I will go through all of the specifics and ins and outs and details of this palette. This is actually the Midnight Sun palette. I know that you guys have probably already watched a lot of reviews or just seen this palette in action quite a few times, but I'm just going to pretend like you haven't and treat it like it's brand new. This is the packaging for the palette, and can you actually, or like the outer unit carton, I guess they call them, for this palette, and can you actually believe this? Have you seen anything more beautiful in your entire life? So it also has a little tie clip at the front here, which is how you kind of undo it and get into it, which I think is so cool and unique and really does mean that you can just like keep this forever. This is the eyeshadow palette itself, and it has that shiny kind of black packaging. My only complaint with this packaging is just that it's that fingerprinty type packaging. So given that this is so luxurious and like the packaging itself is such an experience, I'm kind of like, I just want to keep it fingerprint free, but that's my only complaint. Otherwise, it feels super heavy. It feels really luxury, and getting it in this box as well, it honestly, you can tell it's a luxury purchase and you feel really bougie getting it. It's just so, it's an experience in itself. Also, I got a new chair. I actually got a new bit of a setup, which is super exciting, but I did get a new chair and I've noticed that it is squeaking a little bit or like making a little bit of noise. So if you kind of hear that, it's just my chair, okay? I promise. It just did it then. I promise it's just my chair. On the inside of this eyeshadow palette, you get the freaking amazing, stunning colors. And I promise you that this camera is not going to pick up how beautiful these eyeshadows are in real life. The palette itself is 205 Australian dollars. Normally it's about 195, but I think the exchange rate must have gone down. So this was 205 Australian dollars, and in the US, I think they're 125 USD. If I have that wrong, I'll put it on the screen here. It's just the exchange rate within the two countries makes it very expensive for us. It does have 3 mattes and kind of 3 metallic shimmer shades, I would call them. And then these 4 down here are just kind of these like, actually this gold one and this purple one is more of like a glittery, metallic-y, shimmery, I don't know how, hybrid, I don't know, there's a word in there that I don't even know what the word is, kind of shade. And then this one right here and this one right here are probably going to be my all-time favorite shades, because they are those kind of suspended glittery type shades, which if you have seen any of my videos, you know that I am obsessed with a suspended glitter shade. Now I am going to swatch the shades for you just so that you can see them and see the colors. I'm going to do it like up here on my arms so that it's easier. I always actually start swatching here and I'm like, people can't see that. So I'm going to swatch them up here on my arm. Okay, you guys, so these are the swatches. Now don't judge my swatching skills because I suck at it, but these are all the swatches. Now I've kept the lights down nice and dark for you guys so that hopefully you can see them as true to color as possible, and they look pretty good. It's as close as they're probably going to get. Okay. So now let's do the most amazing, exciting part that I've been waiting for literally 3 days because I couldn't film until now, and actually use this palette on the eyes. I am so, you guys, you have no idea how excited I am for this. You just have no idea. I haven't been this excited to try makeup in such a long time. I mean, I always love trying makeup, but this is just special to me. I don't know why. Now I am going to take the Nars Smudge Proof Tinted Eye Primer. This is in the color Light. I do really like this eye primer as well, guys, if you're wondering, and I do really prefer to use an eye primer versus a concealer. I think I kind of know what look I'm going to do because I actually, as much as I want to dip into every single shade and put it on my eyes, I think these two are the first ones that I want to use. So we'll start with that today, and then I'll probably do a heap of looks with this palette on my Instagram. So I'll put my handle here for you guys so that you can go and check out my Instagram with all these looks. I hope I get enough time to film over the next couple of weeks to just film like a heap of Instagram videos using this palette because I just need to use it. Provided that I like it, because honestly I have not tried it on my eyes yet. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this tan shade right here. I think its name was Taboo from memory. So I'm just taking the Delium Tool 785 tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to start building this up into my crease. And because I have hooded eyes, normally I would be like just using windscreen wiper motions, but because I have hooded eyes lately, I've been finding if I kind of start in this outer corner here and almost one time I got taught it was called the telephone cord. So that's what I'm going to say. So if I almost like telephone cord just this outer corner here, I find that it like really builds this color up quite deeply, and then it kind of creates like a nice lift for my particular eye shape. But if you don't have hooded eyes, I'd just recommend just like buffing it lightly into the crease. And I just kind of, I will say these are 100% friggin' pigmented. How phenomenal. I will say the shadows have a little bit of fallout, or at least this one does, but not a dramatic amount. I've definitely seen a lot worse. So I've buffed this shade into my crease here, and now I'm just going to telephone cord along the whole way, just to build it up a little bit above the crease, and almost, I just find for me this blends out quite nicely when I do this. I'm also just picking up a little bit more of that Taboo color and just packing that a little bit on the outer corner here, not too much. Okay, so I just went and quickly did this eye as well to match. And now what I'm going to do is take this color right here, which is called Extreme Dusk. And I'm just using a Sephora Precision Shadow Brush, which is like this. So what I'm going to do is pop this into the crease a little bit lower. Damn. These are pigmented. Oh yeah. A little bit lower than like where my transition shade is sitting. I'm not dragging it inward yet, like any further than like the middle of my eye here. And I'm just lightly pressing this in and also building up this corner. Okay, I would go a less is more approach with these shadows because they are so pigmented. Okay, then I'm just gonna pick up this Ready matte color here. It's like a dark Ready brown matte. It's called Vermilion Venom. And I'm taking this on a Morphe M507. It's like a really mini tapered blending brush. I'm just taking that color and I'm placing it in between the transition shade and this dark Dusk shade to kind of buff it out. And again, same thing, it's so pigmented. Yeah, I need to actually take some of the shadow off. I picked up way too much. It is so pigmented. My goodness. Very, very pretty though. Now I am bringing this one slightly forward, but that was after I removed some of the shadows, so just be careful with that. Both eyes are caught up now. We are going to take this stunning purple shade right here. Its name is its name is Blitz Violet Orchid. Is that right? Yeah. Its name is Blitz Violet Orchid. I'm going to pick this up on a M167 brush. It's just a flat shading brush. You don't have to use my brushes as well, guys. You can just literally use whatever you have if you are following along at home, that is. I'm going to pick this up dry on the brush first and try and apply it because ideally that's how I like to apply my shadows. I definitely prefer to use a brush than my finger. It's just easier, but sometimes a finger is just better because it warms the shadow up.
That's what she said.
So let's see. Ooh, that is so pretty. Definitely darker on the eyes than I envisioned it. Now I'm actually going to try wetting the brush just to see how much of a difference it kind of creates. It makes it look more like wet and metallic looking, which I guess makes sense because it's wet. I think I definitely prefer it with the brush wet. Yeah, it's way more pigmented. I mean, dry brush is actually not bad at all. This is still dry here and this is the wet side. So you can see this is definitely more metallic and poppy. This one's not bad at all. I just prefer it. Out of the two, I prefer it wet.
That's what she said.
I'm so happy right now, you guys. You have no idea. These shadows are freaking phenomenal. I'm so impressed. Now we're going to pick up my favorite shade in this whole freaking palette, and it's called Astral Solstice, and it is this gorgeous one right here, which is from swatching it, just the most perfect suspended glitter shade. It just looks, it looks pretty phenomenal. So I'm taking it on a Delium Tool 773 shading brush. It's again just a flat shading brush, but it's a bit more fluffy. I'm just going to pick some of this up. Again, I'm actually going to try this dry first. I don't think I would ever use this wet because it would probably make it more metallic than it would the suspended type glitter. So I'm going to try this on this side and just kind of stamp it on. Oh, yep. That's very pretty. You do get a little bit of glitter fallout with that shade, which to be honest, I actually completely expected because it is glitter. Just for shits and gigs, let's actually try it wet. Let's just throw caution to the wind and see what happens. Ooh. It actually just makes it, yeah, that's cool. I like that. It just makes it like more metallic-y, but still like the same effect. I like that. I don't know how to explain it. I'm doing a terrible job. That's pretty. You can see it just like adds a little extra something to the shade. Now I'm gonna actually pick up the shade on my finger for the other eye, and we're gonna see how, ooh. Okay, so I feel like with this shade, it works way better with the finger than it does being wet even. Like you can actually tell the difference. Okay, so for my under eye, I'm just gonna pick up Taboo just on a little pencil brush, and I'm just gonna press it lightly into the outer corner here. I'm just picking up that Sephora Precision Shadow Brush, my God, again, and I'm picking up this color right here. It's the Extreme Dusk one, and I'm just gonna press that really close to the lower lash line. And I'm also just gonna pick up a little bit and just tap it back into this outer corner again, because some of the glitter shade did really just get all over it. Now I'm picking up Skin Show Moon Glow, which is this beautiful satiny champagne-y color right here. I'm just gonna pop that in my inner corner. Oof. Okay, so I'm done with my eye look. I'm just going to quickly put some black eyeliner on and some mascara on, and I will be right back. I love the way that my eyes turned out. I feel like I have like a starry night sky on my eyelids. It's just spectacular. So my final thoughts on whether or not the Pat McGrath Labs Midnight Sun Mothership palette is worth its $205 price tag. Look, I'll be honest with you. To me, it is. I can tell you that I personally believe that this is worth the price tag, but I can't say that to you because I don't know your situation. I don't know your value of $1, and I also don't know what your expectations are of an eyeshadow palette either. So I can only give you my pure opinion. And my pure opinion is that this is freaking phenomenal. I'm so happy I picked this one because honestly, I will use this eyeshadow palette like pretty much every day. It's just such wearable colors to me, and I'm just so beyond happy. So yes, I personally think that Pat McGrath is worth the money and the high price tag. And yes, I definitely agree with pretty much all of the reviews that I've seen anyway, where people say how spectacular her eyeshadow formula is. I completely 100% agree with that. It really does live up to the hype, in my opinion. I just think these are something to be talked about. I'm definitely interested to try more of her eyeshadow palettes to see if they're all very consistent with the quality of this one. I'm also super interested to try her new Christmas release, and I may or may not pick it up. I might just wait until the Thanksgiving sales though to maybe pick these things up at a little bit of a discounted price. I'm just a little bit nervous that the holiday palette isn't going to be as good a quality as her normal palettes. I don't know why, it's just that it's so much cheaper. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to add more to my collection eventually. Am I in a rush? No, because I really want to enjoy the one palette that I have, and also I'm not made of money. But yes, overall it gets a massive tick of approval from me, if that's worth anything to you, because I just actually think that this is phenomenal and I am blown away. And I don't know how many more times I can say that. So we should probably just end the video here. If you enjoyed watching this video, you guys, you could give it a thumbs up, you could subscribe, you could hit the notification bell, you could do all three if you want to. I would just thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you watching, especially if you're watching until this point right here. You're amazing. What else can I say? I hope you have an absolutely amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.